back on tour. She's a champion again. Yeah! The legend. Here's Shannon O'Keefe. Incredible. What a moment for Shannon O'Keefe.
All right, final instructions from PWBA Director of Operations, Tennille Milligan, and we are ready for some more action here at the USBC Queens. The final day will determine our top 5 for our stepladder finals, which will take place Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Got some great matches covered here for you this morning. The match that we're currently looking at is Amanda Fry and Kelly Kulik. We've also got Shannon O'Keefe and Anna Anderson. And they've already started that match. And also Stephanie Johnson and Clara Guerrero, roommates. Emil Williams Jr. will join me shortly. I'm Jason Thomas, and we'll bring you the coverage here today. 16 players left in the field. And by the end of the day, we'll have 5. Brackets available at pwba.com and also bowl.com, so you can follow along that way. Also live scoring as well, so you can follow all the matches that we're not covering. And we've got 4 winners bracket matches and 4 elimination bracket matches going on here this morning. The matches that will be in front of you here on Extra Frame will all be winners bracket matches. And Amanda Fry has taken down some heavy hitters here so far in match play. Biggest of which was Liz Johnson in the second round. She was able to hang on and win 704 to 693 after Liz Johnson started that match with 290. Then she took down Rocio Restrepo 708 to 648. And now her reward for all that good work is she gets to face another legend, Kelly Kulik. our first look here at Amanda Fry. Shot there. Another lefty here, Anna Anderson. Competitor at Weber International. She's off to a good start here against O'Keefe with spare double. Good solid spare there from Amanda Fry. We've seen some players cost themselves matches by missing single pins. And that's going to be a big thing today. The scores at times can be high, but for the most part, if you can just fill frames, keep yourself in the match, that's the best way to go. And O'Keefe trips the 2-pin, gets a nice break. Shannon came back and mouthed the words fast to her ball rep. Kelly Kulik coming into this event for her a little bit under the radar. She's had a decent start to the season, but no TV finals yet. And some good stories written about Kelly, both in print form and also in interview form, video-wise, on kind of her struggling to find the joy in competing after the death of her mom. She did take home a title last season, her first since the relaunch. She's bowled well. Was second in points last season, but hasn't been winning with the frequency that we're accustomed to seeing out of Kelly Kulik. And she says she's just looking to try to get her mojo back. Good shot there from Amanda Fry. The ring 7 as the result. Back over to Shannon O'Keefe. Has a chance to open up a good lead here early after that open by Anderson in the 4th. It's got a hook. Second time she's missed the head pin to the right on that lane. Get our first look over at Clara Guerrero and Stephanie Johnson. Had a little machine issue there early. And Clara Guerrero bowled the one and only 300 game of the tournament earlier this week. Yesterday, matter of fact, in one of her matches. Shot there from Stephanie Johnson. O'Keefe's not completely lined up. Missed the head pin twice, but the shots that she's thrown well, she's struck every time, and has a turkey. And with Anderson struggling here, gives Shannon a little breathing room to kind of figure out what the issue is on this right lane. Which is not what you want to do when you're bowling against someone the caliber of Shannon O'Keefe. Especially someone who's been bowling as well as she has the first 4 weeks of the season. Already has won a title this season, the Sonoma County Open. Go back over to Guerrero Johnson. Clara has struck every time on this lane. I'm not sure, but it looks like there's something wrong with Clara. Just a minute, we'll be welcoming Emil Williams Jr. in the booth. I'd like to get his take on this as well, but it looks like she's nursing her back or something. She looks hurt. And it's pretty obvious too. Yeah, there's something wrong. Well, we'll have to get some news on that and see what's going on. Do some sideline reporting. Yeah, because that's not. I mean, that's a good 5 miles an hour less than what she's normally throwing. All right, Emil Williams Jr. He's done some social and got some administrative things taken care of. He's ready to join us here this morning. Mr. Williams, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm still doing some of those things. You just finalizing some of it.
Never ends. Well, the story here is what's wrong with Clara?
Yeah, I just caught the end of that and caught her last shot. And you're right. I mean, clearly, especially based on the speed and not being the really aggressive Clara that we know through her shots. And looked like, she just walked up and was talking to some of her team members and reps and such, and kind of pointing maybe to that lower back area. Didn't see practice of any kind of Clara's, but you guys can clearly see, and Clara. She is aggressive as anyone through the shot, at the release, at the foul line, and really giving it about probably 30, 40% at most. She's giving it half speed at this point. I have some updates.
I talked to the resident nurse out here on the PWBA tour, Erin McCarthy, also a fellow staffer, and said Clara's back's been giving her some major issues as of last night. Said at dinner it was starting to tighten up, and it's just getting worse, and it's going down her leg. So she's struggling with some back spasms, and it's pretty obvious to watch her trying to throw the ball here this morning, which is a shame.
That is, and not only in the match, but she's bowled very well, obviously, to get to this point. 300 yesterday. Clara is just so distinct in her physical game that you would instantly know if something is not correct or in sync.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. It's actually looks to me like it's getting worse though as we go.
Clara's been battling too some in the last couple years, just some injuries. With last year she had a hand injury to start the season, which required her to.
What's your favorite?
There it is.
Oh, it fell. Take that 8-pin.
She changed all of her pitches, span, and it took her, obviously it'd take anyone some time to kind of get used to it, but she had to do it right before the tour, so she basically took the first few weeks to gradually get comfortable with changes during major competition. This season, she battled, I should say, towards the end of last season, of course, made a couple shows at the end of the year. Then this year, in Las Vegas, she came to Las Vegas with an ear infection.
Yeah.
And that was better. I talked to her last week in Fountain Valley, and she mentioned something brief about the hand, but all was well. And boy, you hate to see that for any player.
Yeah, it's tough to watch. It is unfortunate. And Erin said that Clara thought it was from carrying equipment around was really what caused it, not so much the bowling, but lugging some equipment around. She's trying to fight through it. mean, it's not helping that Stephanie Johnson's shooting 260 at her. But, you know, it must be tough for Stephanie, too.
I was just going to say, even as the opponent, and then their friends, you know, they've been rooming this week.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I'm sure both looking forward to bowling, you know, this match, no matter who wins in a sense, but just to have that opportunity to, you know, get further along in this event. And, you know, and then as a kind of a friend first, I know you feel for that individual. And then, of course, then there's bowling that you still have to do. On top of it, there's the competition part. I mean, even in the sense that, you know, depending on what happens here, she still throws it good at 35%. You know, you'd like to bowl your friend, opponent, whoever it is, at their best, you know, as well.
Well, you know, one thing you can say about Clara is that she's one tough cookie. I mean, she's bowled against the men for a long time. She's had success. She's made a show on the PBA tour. If you're not tough, you don't accomplish all those things that she's accomplished. And she's trying to gut it out here. I mean, she still could shoot 2 teens. So I think a lot of players would trade scores with her.
Yeah. There's a couple right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we just had the O'Keefe-Anderson match, and Shannon O'Keefe shot 216. She's got a 43-pin lead over Anna. She shot 173.
You see Clara making the physical adjustment with her hand. Because she has to throw it slower, obviously, her body won't allow her to. It's going more end over end.
Yeah.
So it will not make it the immediate sharp left turn, obviously, with slow ball speed on a pattern that we've all mentioned this week. You know, if you're playing in the middle part of the lane, it's a little flatter and it's going to go left.
Well, 205. That's a heck of a game. You know, bowling at, like you said, 30%. A little leaner.
Kind of reminds me of at the U.S. Women's Open last year. Speaking of the resident nurse, Erin McCarthy had her own back spasms.
Yeah, that's right.
And towards the end of the final round of match play, made the show. And, you know, if you recall, there were a few shots of her standing because she didn't want to sit.
Yeah.
And in many ways, really couldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
sit.
Yeah, the only time she looked somewhat normal was when she was throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, she was limping badly in between shots, and you could tell that her back was in a lot of pain. Shannon O'Keefe looks like she's getting lined up, which is not good news for Anna Anderson.
No, and yeah, there's, I guess, one unknown essentially in the winners bracket. It would be, you know, Anna Anderson, Sweden, but you know, a very good season, both 1 year at Weber International. In fact, won what is arguably, and many would believe, the toughest event to win at the collegiate level, and that was the individual title at the Hoosier Classic last season.
Well, she's gotten things turned around. She starts this game with the turkey.
You go Anna, you could go you know, Amanda Fry, putting herself in a great position, as Jason mentioned earlier at the top of the broadcast. All-American at Vanderbilt. Had a good support system here with her boyfriend, and also Leanne Holsenberg is here. Leanne, one of Amanda's heroes, certainly growing up bowling in Northern California. She's from Antelope, which is right nearby Sacramento and Roseville.
cool.
I tell you, I mean, we've seen some crazy things happen. You know, obviously Steph looks pretty lined up, but it's weird to say, but I mean, I think Claire's going to be around the 1-3, even at the rate she is, and the pain she's in, simply because she knows how to bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a very good draw for her. Although I'm sure part of the reason Steph is bowling so well is she knows her opponent's hurt, so she probably feels like there maybe isn't as much pressure that she's going to have to bowl all that well, which tends to loosen you up. And it's not a good break. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that is a head scratch.
Have to roll out a Cobra Kai monologue there for Stephanie. she's being cruel.
Yeah.
Enemy deserves no mercy. Clara just can't generate the speed to give herself any pin action. She left an Aaron Smith back in the first frame, and that one, if she's throwing her normal ball speed, probably trips the 4.
That's 10 back with normal.
Sure.
But you're right. Even with a few extra. Shot there from Amanda Fry. All of a sudden, that O'Keefe Anderson match. Well, Shannon has just had so many games like this since the bracket has begun, where it's just all of a sudden, I should say even qualifying, where you look up and all of a sudden she's got the front 6.
Yeah, well, it looks like to me that one missed right, and that spot's now burned up, so now it's making it back around the corner and giving her the light mixer hit. And she just, even though she's bowled great, she's dodged a couple bullets to get to this point, but she's not going to bowl bad. She's not going to give a match away.
Which, of course, is also to be expected in this tournament. You can bowl as good as you want, and obviously we know you can still lose. As and she, like you said, the Karen Marcano match could easily be flipped around.
Yeah.
She could have lost that first round match. Ashley Galante had a chance to double in the 10th to beat her as well. So, and I think that's just kind of all part of how to win, or not how to win, because there's no recipe on how to win this tournament.
Yeah, you just, I mean, there's a lot of luck involved. Who you draw, you just bowl your best and hope it's enough. But she's performed in the clutch twice. The other match she shot 780, so it wasn't ever really in question. But the 2 times that she's been tested, she's come through. She had to throw all 3 strikes to defeat Karen Marcano after Karen threw a 6 count to give her an opening. And then she had to throw 3 strikes to force Galante to double, and she did that, and Ashley wasn't able to come through. I think that's, I mean, at this level, it's probably sounds like a cliche, but that's kind of what separates the great players. You know, you saw Liz Johnson yesterday, down on the ropes, about to be eliminated, and throws the last 7 to win by 20 pins. She just knew, I can't miss. I can't afford to miss, or I'm done, and she's able to find a way. I don't know what the tournament rules are, but, I mean, if it were possible to just forfeit the match, you know, it would be something I would definitely consider. Maybe try to get some treatment before the next round starts. But, because, you know, this match is, she's down 100, and even though she's not bowling that bad for as hurt as she is, but I don't know if the rules require that you finish the match. I know Shannon O'Keefe a couple years back, she went into the final day in the winner's bracket. I don't know if you remember this, but she came in with her back tight, her neck tight. I think she slept on it wrong and wasn't feeling 100% and got swept out the first 2 matches on the final day. You're nodding like you sort of vaguely remember that.
Sounds kind of familiar now.
It's just tough to watch. It's painful. Well, Amanda Fry down 16 going into this game, but she's putting it to Kelly Kulik right now. Strikes bare 4-bagger.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe I might still have my notes nearby, but yesterday in their match with Liz Johnson, Liz shot 290 at her in the first game. And then Amanda came back, shot 260 game 2. Liz shot 202. And of course, Amanda able to pull the match out in the third game.
Wow, that ball didn't have a chance. Well, that's getting interesting. Anna Anderson trying to hang in there against Shannon O'Keefe. She's got a good game going. See if Amanda Fry can keep the pressure on Kelly Kulik.
Just think trended. I don't know if it's a trend. Could be just a thing, but this is the fresh. I don't remember when the Liz Johnson Amanda Fry match was.
It was actually interesting because that match was actually bowled on the pair that Daria Payuk and Jordan Richard bowled on. So I think what happened there was Liz was able to start right of where they had played and shot 290, but as soon as they broke down and she had to move in, she ran into a ton of traffic, whereas Amanda didn't have that issue. She had a side completely to herself, which, wow, that was a large messenger. So, you know, I think Amanda drew Liz Johnson at just the right time, on just the right pair, and she still, Liz still almost found a way to pull it off.
Interesting. She shot 257 game 1 today, Liz Johnson. Just shot 202 again, second game against Shannon Sellens.
Yeah, Sellens still in that match, but I mean Liz, you know, averaged about 240 yesterday. And it doesn't look. I think Clara might be getting worse. Like the ball's just getting softer and softer. So 226 for Anna Anderson in game 2. Going to give her 399. O'Keefe will be in the 240s with the spare. So she'll have a nice lead going into game 3. She's going to try a different bowling ball. Nice shot there from Kelly Kulik.
Oh, come on. Good shot.
Yeah.
Oh, that 9.
Yeah, I'm sure she was relieved not to have to throw another shot.
Get that 9 out of there.
Well,
Kelly's ball
that's
reaction
not
does
good.
not look good.
Yeah. All right, start of game 3 here for Shannon O'Keefe versus Anna Anderson. Anderson, a long way to go if she's going to remain in the winner's bracket. And good break there just to leave something makeable. Kelly Kulik starting to dig herself a big hole here against Amanda Fry. Not a good break there on the spare.
Really impressed with what Amanda's been able to do so far. She's been obviously solid, but every time I've seen her bowl, she's had I'm going to assume a variation of the bowling ball she's throwing currently. And so perhaps she's been able to simplify a game plan, which always helps. You don't have to worry about too much or go to, you know, maybe 3-4 balls. If you can limit that because that's what's working for you.
Yeah, that was a big mistake there. Cobra Kai analogy. Keith made a nice ball change, and good spare cleaning that up. Yeah, this is definitely sweep the leg time for Amanda Fry.
Good spare. I mean, huge spare. Just continues to keep her on that good mental note. Don't want to open in the 10th frame when you got an opportunity to add, certainly. Now what is a lead? Try some on the fill. She was also a pleasure to talk with during media day. Got a chance to do a little profile video for Amanda. We'll see that, of course, at various points, either this season or the off season. But learned a lot about her. Actually has a brother who is a police officer, and one of her jerseys that she wears has like blue stars on it and representative, or representing him while he's actively protecting everyone else, of course, in their area in Northern California.
She's going to have a nice lead going into game 3. Kelly Kulick's going to have one more chance to try to figure something out here. She's definitely not going to throw that ball anymore. Maybe. No, I don't know. She's saying no. I don't know. Looked better than the other one she was throwing. So Kulick down 52 pins. O'Keefe with a big, comfortable lead here. And just trying to pull away. Stephanie Johnson gets a look at a different ball. She finishes with 228. And gutsy performance here from Clara Guerrero. Just making it through the match, but she's actually putting up some decent score.
I think it's a good lesson for everyone. Just to consider the amount of pain that she's in, very visible. But just to continue to compete, and really, in all honesty, if perhaps she was bowling someone else right now.
Yeah, she might be winning.
She might be winning.
Definitely be beating me. I would have been quitting by now. I was telling her to quit 3 frames ago.
I've never personally bowled with a back spasm or injury, so I don't know exactly what that feels like. I've had some back pain, but not to that extent, not to that level of where you are physically being kind of enabled or disabled in a sense.
Yeah, I have tried to bowl through back issues, and it's not fun.
I know it's tough.
Yeah,
Clearly.
I've withdrawn from tournaments before because of it. It's the worst because you know the pain's coming, you know when it's coming, and it's almost impossible to just kind of focus and fight your way through it. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for what Clara's doing here, just to stay in the tournament. And she's shot 205, 208. And if you look across the building, she'd actually be leading in several matches. O'Keefe with the big split there, but nothing to be alarmed about.
Shot there, opening third game shot for Steph. Other matches, looks like, let's see, Brianna Cote leading good friend and Tina Williams on the winner's bracket match. Of course, those two bowl quite often together as doubles partners in Phoenix and various tournaments and events.
Yeah,
so
tough draw for them.
Yeah, good friends there. Elimination match, Josie Barnes and Jenny Wegner. The top seed is Wegner from Sweden. That match still pretty close, although Josie started double, split double. Wegner has gone strike, spared double. We know that she can put up score in the third game. She's done it a couple times already. In fact, had the front nine twice in a third game situation. Randy Branco over Jennifer Russo currently after 2 games. And that's as I say that, my man Rick Barbera comes through, dropping scores for me. What a guy.
All right, getting must strike time here for Anna Anderson. Yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for that match. Interesting that Amanda Fry didn't stick with that ball change. I bet she's probably thinking no reason to make any big changes because Kelly Kulick's not putting any pressure on her.
That's something we've talked about this week as well. Just kind of the understanding and, not completely paying attention to your opponent, but knowing enough, obviously, that it affects how you need to go about your business and whether you need to, kind of play that risk-reward game.
I wouldn't be surprised here if Kelly threw a double to see Amanda make the ball change, though. Amanda threw it on the fill ball. It looked great. And if Kelly shows signs that she might string some strikes, but yeah, it's not happening. she may make it anyway because, at some point, the match is going to be so far out of reach. She can start playing around and looking for information for the next match.
Which winner's bracket she would face at this point looks like Shannon O'Keefe. If Amanda Fry is to advance.
She just looks tough. Kelly with the strike, so maybe some life. Stephanie is just throwing the pins around like toys.
That would be a bad example for young Levi and Kinsey.
Well, she's getting away from that, and she's like, well, they do it at my house. I'm going to do it at this house. And Fry sticking with that ball. There's no reason not to. Kelly's just not putting any pressure on her, so play it safe. Worst she's gonna do is flat 7 or 3-pin with that ball. She throws one like she just threw that last one, she'll strike. But at this point, 2-0 is gonna get it done. And a Fry keeping the pressure on. Kelly Kulick starting to get in must-strike territory. Mentioned how the great players just seem to always give themselves a chance, and Kelly definitely falls into that category. Let's see if she can muster a string of strikes here to force Amanda Fry to feel some pressure. Well, not over yet. Kelly Kulick can still shoot 266. That would give her 650. And that would mean Amanda Fry would need 215 or better. So still far from over. Shannon O'Keefe up in the 10th frame, just finishing off this match. She'll advance one more win, and she will be in the match for the 1 and 2 seed. Big shot there from Amanda Fry. That strike basically means that if Amanda can stay clean the rest of the way, Kelly's going to have to strike out.
Anna talking to his teammates, Sandra.
Uh-oh. Good break there. Couple strikes here, and man, Amanda might feel it a little bit. Got a hook. Nope, that's pretty much gonna do it for this match. Final shot here of this match. Jump over to Clara, see how she's doing.
I'll tell you what she's doing, JT. Clara is bowling fearless right now.
Yes, sir.
And that's really no pun intended. That's the whole purpose of a new marketing campaign on tour this year, Bowl Fearless. You've seen the hashtag, and that right there is literally the definition of what that is.
Couldn't agree more. So Amanda Fry just needs to keep the ball in the lane, basically. Last couple frames here. She's going to take down her last three matches. Liz Johnson, Rocio Restrepo, and Kelly Kulik. So three-time reigning player of the year, last year's number 2 runner-up for player of the year, and the previous season's runner-up for player of the year.
Yeah. And let's say you sum it up. Then, of course, she's got one more at this point, and that would be Shannon O'Keefe.
Yeah.
That
Good
would-
luck.
That would be
that would be an impressive run. Impressive run. Talk about your tough brackets.
seven-time champion. Coming up next for her. Already won the title this year. Last year's tour champion. Certainly in the, an early front runner for player of the year, no doubt.
Yeah.
O'Keefe, so that at this point for Amanda, it's kind of just why not?
Well, it's it's kind of like a Cinderella in the tournament. Knocking off Duke and then North Carolina and then Kentucky. Back to back to back.
I'd give her a little more credit than like a George Mason. Which is a little better. No disrespect to George Mason. I'm just saying in comparison, we'll give Amanda a little more credit.
Yeah, I mean it'd be a big accomplishment for anybody.
Yeah.
To knock those three players off. And if she could pull it off next round, it'd be even more amazing.
Then she'd be guaranteed on the show.
I mean, I think the bad news for her is that Shannon just bowled a lefty. So she's kind of goes into that match understanding how they're going to break down for her, being alone on the right side. Sure, kick me while I'm down. Well, Kelly Kulick finishes with 592.
Quick elimination match updates. Sydney Brummett, rookie, keeping her dreams alive here. Defeats Shannon Plahowski, 666 to 568. Liz Johnson just gets past Shannon Sellens. And did enough split in the 10th frame to win by 22. 683 to 661. Brandy Branca defeated Jen Russo, 654 to 561. Josie Barnes knocks off the number 1 seed Guinea Wegner today, 647 to 620. Final match. Looks like Brianna Cote will move on in the winner's bracket, defeat her friend Tina Williams.
Well, just one more match here. Excuse me.
Look out.
Getting choked up talking about Clara. Clara finishing up here. Couple of marks here, and Clara can actually surpassed the score Kelly Kulick turned in, which is pretty amazing if you think about the issue she's having right now with her back.
Quick housekeeping as we update the bracket here. Talked about the winners bracket matches, elimination with Liz Johnson advancing and Anna Anderson losing. They will meet in the elimination bracket. Chelsea Barnes will take on Kelly Kulick. The Team USA battle there. Brandy Brink is still alive after defeating Jen Russo. At the moment, we'll take on, or scheduled to take on Clara. As she finishes, or this match gets complete here. Sydney Brummett. She had one open frame, despite what she's going through.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty gutsy. I mean, she can't even bend over, pick up her ball. She has to squat down with her legs.
They'll make it.
.600 on the nose. Pretty impressive what she's going through with her back. And let's hope she can get some quick relief, maybe some treatment, and have a chance to be competitive in her next match, which will be in the elimination bracket.
At the moment, it will be 25 minutes. Scheduled to begin at 10:45 Pacific. That was a bittersweet embrace right there.
Yeah.
Saw it all over Steph's face.
Next up at 10:35, we'll start warm-ups for 4 winners and 8 contenders who will continue their quest. Queen. So 10:35, ladies, warm-ups will begin.
You see, she can't even bend her back, bend forward. Just kind of. Yeah. It's rough. That's why it's a sport.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we're going to get reset here. We got some cameras to move and some more great matches coming up. As you heard Tennille Milligan announce, about 25 minutes from now, practice will begin. Who do we have featured?
We'll have Amanda Fry and Shannon O'Keefe, 53 and 54. Brianna Cote and Stephanie Johnson on 49 and 50. And those will be our 2 winners matches. And yeah, I think the nearest contenders match would be 43 and 44. Not sure we can get there.
Well, yeah, we won't be able to get there, but we'll get the 2 winners bracket matches, and
Yep.
then following that, we'll have our match for our number 1 and 2 seeds, which we'll cover, and a lot of elimination matches that will determine the 3, 4, 5 seeds for
Yep.
our show.
We'll have a lot this afternoon.
All right, so we'll keep the stream going. Just enjoy the ambiance of the National Bowling Stadium.
Not
And-
the smooth sounds of us.
And we'll be back with more coverage from the USBC Queens here at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada.
athletics, your lanes are now coming on for 10 minutes of warm-up. arrived today. Athletes, 2 minutes remaining of your warm-up, 2 minutes remain of your warm-up. Athletes, please hold up on your warm-up. Please hold up on your warm-up. No more deliveries at this time. Pin setters will recycle for you. Reminder to the bowling fans that flash photography and the signing of autographs is strictly prohibited during competition. In addition, we kindly ask that you silence your cell phones to prevent any distractions to the athlete. This week, the field of play is at the bottom of the stairs, and this belongs to the athletes and authorized personnel only. Please do not enter the field of play for any reason. Just a reminder that we have an exclusive agreement with PBA and Extra Frame for all the live streaming of PWBA events. Please do not live stream from your personal devices. All right, bowling fans, pick out your favorite athlete, cheer her on.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we've got 2 winners bracket matches. And we've got a special guest in the booth with us, and also a friend of one of the competitors, Leanne Holsenberg. Leanne, how you doing?
Good.
So, Amanda Fry, one of your proteges, obviously you said, was it going to be a good idea for me being in the booth? Because this is going to have a lot of emotional impact on me. So what are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm just really proud of her. I've known Amanda since she was probably 8, 10 years old. She was a junior bowler in the NorCal area, and when I lived there, and very close friends with her family, and just watched her grow up, and it's fun to watch her have such a great week this week.
All right, so Amanda Bolin, Shannon O'Keefe, interesting matchup. We've got a lefty and a righty. What do you see as the keys to this match?
I think I watched them both this last match and the first match in the morning, and they both have a great shot. You know, lanes are going to change a little bit in game 2, so probably whoever sticks with the transition, you know, I think you probably got to have a few breaks, you know, get the pins to carry. Both seem very confident to me. I mean, I talked to Amanda before, after she bowled Kelly. I said, how are you feeling? She's like, I'm good. She's just like, she's amazing to me because she always seems so at ease. And I'm like, is your heart pounding? Is your, you know, like, how are you feeling? And she's like, I feel good. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think
she's taken down a pretty good group of players the last 3 matches.
She's had she started with Sierra Kanemoto, which is probably good. Get off to a good start with another young player, and then she bowled Liz and made a huge comeback, and then she bowled Rocio, and then she bowled Kelly. So what's Shannon now? I mean, just another giant in the PWBA, and you know, I told her, just bowl the pins. I go, you have a really good chance to make the TV show. I said, even if you lose to Shannon, you have a really good chance in the contenders bracket. I said, so don't try to win. Just bowl your game and see what happens.
Yeah. Now, you know, she had a little bit of she caught Kelly in kind of a bad time for Kelly. Kelly didn't bowl all that well. Shannon's been basically just running people over. Although she has had a couple of close matches, but that was more because her opponents bowled well. Do you think Amanda's going to need to do a little more this match than she did against Kelly this morning?
Yeah, Kelly had, you know, the iffy reaction, and she seemed like she was just searching, and nothing ever really came around. And she actually had a few bad breaks when she was, you know, starting to get lined up. Amanda's shot's not going to change a whole bunch, but neither is Shannon's, because one's on the left and one's on the right. Both are pretty straight players, so I think it's going to be who has the carry. You know, I worry about Amanda and her spares. Now, that's probably just getting fast. The key to Amanda's game is to keep her feet steady and slow. She gets a little fast, like on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Ashley Galante narrowly lose to Shannon O'Keefe due to a missed 10-pin the last game. So you can't afford to do that too many times.
Not at this point of the tournament. You know, everyone's got a good feel for the lanes, and most people are, you know, bowling pretty good sets, so spares are going to be the match, you know, decisive factor probably. Hopefully not that 9 miss for Amanda, but, you know, it's still early in the match. So.
Yeah. So our other featured match, we have Stephanie Johnson taking on Brianna Cote. And Stephanie bowled a great set in the morning, but had a little bit of the benefit of Clara Guerrero being injured.
It's very painful for Clara.
But
Steph's got a great shot, though. She is it's probably going to be a high-scoring match, I would assume. Brianna's bowled really steady, like, the whole tournament, and she's actually having a great year. She's, like, made every cut this year and just bowled great. So, both great matches.
pretty impressive that Clara was still able to shoot 600 with as much pain as she's in.
Yeah, and does anyone know what happened to her? She just like tweaked her back a
Yeah,
little bit, or?
yeah. She said it started to bother her, tighten up last night, and woke up this morning and it was worse. And then tried to give it a little bit of a go early and just kind of wrenched it, and then it just kind of got worse from there.
Commendable that she's out there trying to make it work for sure. But she was in the winners, so she's probably thought, even if I lose this match, if my back comes around, she would still have a chance, and that's the sort of thing, like maybe she can get like a little workout or something, and maybe she can gut it out and still have a chance. Jubal and Brandy Branca down there. Yeah. There's a nice mix of talent out there right now still left for the chance to make the show.
And you've had a pretty nice start to the season.
Well, I don't know about that. I had one nice start to the season, which was the first week, but it's been a little bit up and down from there, but still lots of weeks left, so who knows.
What was it like making the first step ladder of the season and first one you've made since the relaunch?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I put in a good amount of work to get ready and everything, and the stars aligned for my couple days, and it turned out well, but it was fun. It's always fun to compete. I love bowling.
I know a lot of fans were happy to see you back.
I think it's good for us old girls to show we can still do it once in a while. Carolyn Doran Ballard bowled really great this week. Tish Johnson bowled great this week, so there's still a few of us representing the old girls.
So Amanda bounces back after the missed spare, which was a good sign.
Yep. Get it out early, right? Maybe it won't cost her.
And it seems like roommates is a common theme this week. We had Daria and Diana bowl each other last night, and then Clara and Stephanie this morning, and then if Shannon and Stephanie were to happen to win, they're kind of best buds.
Yep.
So it's kind of an interesting dynamic here. A lot of you kind of have to be friends, but then once you get out on the lanes, it's do or die, right?
In this tournament, it's inevitable that you're going to match up against one of your friends. You're lucky if you don't, because everybody, staffer, friends, roommates, and Brianna and Tina Williams, they bowl state tournaments and city tournaments in Arizona, so they're friends.
That's
so,
right. They just
yeah.
bowled last round.
There's a bad break for Shannon right there.
Brianna's had a pretty great start to the season. I think she was maybe wanting to make up for a little bit of a rough season by her standards last year.
I think she struggled a little bit last year, but she's certainly off to a very consistent and solid start this year.
Finished second in our last event.
She's bowled very consistent. Like, she hasn't had good blocks, bad blocks. She's been pretty steady throughout the different qualifying squads and everything for the last month.
So what would you say Amanda's strengths are in her game?
Well, I think you know, she likes to throw it hard. So this week we're on a little bit of a shorter pattern, so I think that definitely helps her. But you know, when she gets lined up and she gets a good feel, she can strike forever. I mean, she just, she's still learning. You know, we bowl on a lot of different patterns out here, and you know, I don't know much about like the left side and what they have to go through. Obviously, we don't have a whole bunch of left-handers. We had more this week, so that may have helped her. But the girl can strike, and when she gets her, you know, things lined up and gets the right ball in her hands, she can definitely strike. She has a great attitude. I mean, that's one thing that since she was a little girl, she has had a phenomenal attitude of positive, you know, just like, I'm good, you know, she just never gives up and never quits, and, you know, she loves bowling. So
yeah, she doesn't seem to be afraid of bowling the best.
Well, obviously, we've seen that the last 2 days. She's just like, who's that, you know, and just bowls her game. And honestly, I think when you look at it in respect to who's got the most pressure, you know, she's got nothing to lose. She's bowling Shannon O'Keefe, one of the best bowlers in the world. So, you know, she's like, if I lose to Shannon, no one's going to go, oh, you lost to Shannon.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And Shannon's probably got a little more pressure because she is on top of the world. So, you know, I think it's just all depends on how you look at it. But
Yeah.
again, you just have to bowl your own game and not really, you know, it's not so much of a defensive sport. So
Right.
And Shannon's been bowling great this year. You know, she's just
She
comes
has. It
out
seems like
killing
she's
'em.
been more consistent this year.
Yep.
I've talked to her recently. She seems like she's added a few tricks to her game to get her through some of the times when she would struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like she's learning something new every week, which, yeah, it's not what you have to do, right? You just have to keep plugging the holes in your game.
Exactly. She reminds me a little bit of Carolyn Doran-Ballard when we were full time, you know, in the old PWBA. Is that she's always really consistent, but then bam, you know, she's like I watched her in Rohnert Park, I guess.
Yeah.
She's like came back and had a huge game and got her in the finals and everything, but it's like she's just works, and then bam, 270, you know, just
Yeah, when she needs it, just
she
kicks it up
figures
a
it out.
notch.
You know,
Yeah.
she works hard and will do the ball change just on a flip and that's it. So she's a smart bowler, and that's which reminds me about Carolyn, because Carolyn was always, you know, like boom, 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 and then instantly she would just change balls and go off the sheet.
Yeah.
Like she knows her equipment, she knows her game, not afraid to make changes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like at this level, the players that have success seem to be the ones that can make the moves almost second nature without having to waste too many frames thinking about it or trying things.
Second guessing themselves, you know,
Right.
like, oh, I could throw it better. Nope, they just change balls and they have it. So
And Amanda Fry, after that open frame, has strung together 5 straight strikes and has taken an early lead.
now she will have a little transition. You know, she started with that ball in the match against Kelly, bowled a great first game, had a little bit of transition. The ball's going to go a little longer. She's going to have to make sure she rolls it and stays soft with her hand, doesn't get too quick with it. But she also has a game plan. She has a little 2-3 ball arsenal that gives her a little more either way. So
Yeah, we did see her try a different ball on the fill ball against Kelly, and we were speculating that maybe if Kelly had put a little pressure on her, she might have made the ball change, but didn't seem like she needed to do anything crazy in that match.
no, and that's I talked to her boyfriend Sam, and she said Sam said Amanda came back and said, oh, I don't really like my reaction, and he said to her, you just need to fill frames.
Yeah.
You don't need to look for a whole bunch more because you're ahead and Kelly doesn't have much, so don't go toying with your good reaction.
I think that's good advice.
Brianna doesn't look too comfortable on the right lane, I guess. She's struck Last 2 shots on the left lane, so she's going to have to get lined up.
Nice spare there for Amanda. Emil Williams, he's doing some producing.
He's given us some good info. Talking about the most consistent player, definitely Shannon O'Keefe. Her year so far, 7th, 1st, and 6th. Brianna Cote, 13th, 23rd, and 2nd. Danielle, probably another one of our top.
She's I think very similar to Shannon. I think she was 1st, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah. You know, Amanda Fry bowled good last year in the Queens. We had 3 or 4 of us stayed together, and she stayed with us. And she made match play at the Queens in Baton Rouge. She won a couple matches, got through to the 2nd day, so maybe she just really likes this format.
Yeah, it's a neat format. I mean, what do you think about this format? You've had success in this event in the past.
You started to say I've bowled like plenty of these tournaments, right? You've bowled 30 of the Queens tournaments, Leanne. What do you think of it? No, I tell any bowlers who are like, oh, I'd like to try some the bowl on the Pro Tour and stuff. I go, you should definitely try the Queens tournament. It's tricky though because it's one of the friendliest tournaments because they take a bigger cut. You don't always have to be the best bowler to win the Queens, because it depends on your draw. There's a lot of luck of the draw and your matches. Like some people can bowl 580 and win, and some people can bowl 750 and lose, like we've seen yesterday. But it's one of the hardest tournaments to win, but it's also, you probably have talked to a few people who've won that were like, wow, I had a lot of luck, but that's what makes it fun. And it's fun to watch because it's like the match play and who's going to bowl who, and like we were talking about the friends and stuff. So it's definitely one of the most exciting tournaments, along with like the USBC Masters to watch. So, and inevitably, you always find like there's always the amateur who makes it, because of just
Cinderella
the format.
Story.
Yep, always a good story at the Queens.
Shannon O'Keefe, this is a pretty good 2-0 she's bowling right here.
Yeah.
A blower 7-10, a couple ring 10s, and a stone 8 on a strike. Her first shot in the 10th.
I'm predicting that it won't be 2-0 for Shannon the next game. I'm predicting she magically turns that 2-0 into a 240 or better next game. So Amanda needs to get all she can out of this game, start plugging away next game, because Shannon will be catching up quickly, I predict.
Yeah, it just seems like she's been so solid all week in the matches, just hitting the pocket all the time, making small adjustments. She really doesn't take a lot of chances unless her opponent puts the pressure on her. She did win one match by it was basically wrapped up in the middle of the 2nd game. She shot 780. But she did have 2 matches where she had to throw doubles in the 10th and was able to do it.
She has some really mean ring 10s going on. I'm like, she's throwing some great shots, and that, I don't know if she's just the angle, and maybe when the fresh oil, pushes down a little bit and she can get an earlier read, but she's throwing some really good shots and leaving a bunch of ring 10s.
Yeah, she's talked about how she's had a couple different game breakers that she's been going back and forth between, one with the pin up, one with the pin down with the hole, and she said she's been kind of going back and forth between them based on if she wants to create a little more angle, if she's having some carry issues, she goes to the pin up one.
Just change the angle on the finish, like how it rolls through the pins.
Yeah.
It's good when you can have a ball that you trust like that, where you can drill a couple of them, so you can just make this very small changes and not have to go from a different ball. Steph's got a great game going.
Yeah, she can shoot 259.
She's gonna put a big lead on Brianna the first game, but Brianna had a good finish.
And she got off to a quick start against Clara as well. Shot 260.
It's always good to get off to a quick start.
Yeah.
That helps.
She was throwing a different ball in that match. So obviously this pair playing a little different. It's a good shot there.
Amanda's rolling it very, very well right now. Looks like she might try something. Looks like she just said change balls, so she's gonna maybe try a different ball on the fill ball. So Steph's gonna have a 40-pin lead over Brianna.
Yeah, about
Amanda's
the same.
gonna have, about the same. Looks like Liz has a close match.
Yeah, Liz, man, she's been bowling great, averaging over 240 for the matches so far. But thanks to Amanda in the contenders bracket.
Yeah, I saw Liz last night. We were grabbing some dinner, and she said, I bowled 600 over yesterday. And I go, oh, geez, Liz. She was a little tired. She was in the losers bracket a little early and kept on bowling, and she bowled, like, phenomenally and still plugging away today.
Yeah, she started the match with Amanda with 290, and Amanda was able to run her down.
Tina Williams has a little lead over Sydney Brummett, 20-pin lead over Sydney. Looks like Brandy Branca is going to have a little lead over Clara. Oh no, is she bowling Clara?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Clara in her bad back, 190. So Brandy Branca's got a 25-pin lead. It's kind of hard to see Kelly's match way down there.
Yeah, I think 186 was her score, and she's up 6.
Okay. Low scoring start over in that match. Amanda didn't change balls on her fill ball. She just has a really good shot.
Yeah, I don't think in the match with Kelly she got to look at a different ball till the end of game 2.
Yep.
So winners of these 2 matches will make it to our televised finals. They'll bowl for the 1 and 2 seeds coming up after our re-oil. And the losers of these matches will still be in the tournament, and as you said, they'll still have a very good chance to make it into the 3, 4, or 5 seeds.
They'll take a little break after this match, right? Because then these 4 will bowl, the 4 winners of the contenders bracket will bowl each other.
Right.
And then the 2 winners will join these 2 for the 4-person bet.
Yep.
3 highest make the show.
Yep.
Okay. So still optimistic for the losers of these 2 matches to have a good chance to make the show.
Yeah. Winning is good.
Definitely the easiest route, that's for sure. I don't want to be one of those bowlers who talks about themselves, but I won the Queens in 1999, and I came all the way from the losers bracket. I lost my first match.
Did you really?
And went all the way through, and
10 matches?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And then I qualified 5th and won all my matches.
Wow.
So like I maxed out the games of that Queens.
Yeah, you
got
did.
my money's worth.
We were wondering about that because in all my years covering the Masters and the Senior Masters and the Senior Queens and the Queens, I'd only seen one player bowl for the title after losing their first match. So it's nice to know that it can be done.
It's my motivational speech for anyone who loses their first match. I'm like, you can still do it. It's not easy, but you still can.
Well, Shannon is close, but she needs strikes.
She does.
wonder maybe if that was a little bit of transition. That looked like a pretty good shot.
Yeah. It checked up a little high, though. I mean, it definitely was not. I don't know if that was the same ball, like you said, if she's switching back from the same ball, pin up, pin down, just trying to find the right angle to get the pins to fall.
Well, she's so good at repeating that even though she's the only one on her side, you know, she's burning up a spot pretty quick.
Starting
nice.
with the front three. Maybe try to catch up a little quick. Every little 10 pins you can catch up will make a big difference.
Is that Amanda's typical miss in?
I don't think so. I think she gets quick, and she normally misses left. She gets quick and gets off her hand, but she's probably just really focusing on rolling it. Maybe just got a little too slow, maybe.
Yeah. Stephanie with the double, trying to keep pace.
See if she covers it up. Good girl with her spare. Amanda has her father here.
Oh.
Bill Fry came up on the weekend to watch. I believe her mom is working and watching on live stream or watching on live scoring. Karen is works for Hewlett Packard in Sacramento. I've probably, depending on the outcome of this match, I think Karen's probably going to come down with a little cold.
Yeah.
And maybe have to call in sick tomorrow and be up here tomorrow.
Take the short drive.
Yeah, she's just 2 hours over the hill, so she could be here. She might even be able to work half a day and scoot on up here.
That'd be cool.
Who knows? Amanda, if she hangs on and makes a TV show, she might have a large following because she has Sacramento friends.
Oh, yeah.
They could all head up.
That's true.
Which would be fun. Make your first TV show close to home and have some supporters here to cheer you on. That would be a nice way to do it. You know, funny thing on that 1999 Queens, I threw the same ball most of the same tournament, or the whole tournament. And the night before the TV show, I took that ball back to my hotel room. I didn't want anything to happen to it. I took it with me. I was like, I'm not having any chances.
That's funny.
All right, Brianna's back in the game here, looking good. Shannon, man, she's not getting the hits. So hard to tell just watching because, you know, she's pounding the pocket, and I know that you can look like, you know, you're all lined up and everything, but like your heart could be beating extra fast. You could just have it, you know, come off your hand a little quick, just adrenaline and everything, and maybe just slowing things down and rolling it a little better, which kind of looks like what's Brianna's doing. Like maybe she just had a little adrenaline the first game.
Yeah.
As she looks like she's much just rolling it a little better, you know, like it's smoother off her hand. She's not too quick, so you never know what's going on inside the body.
Yeah, we saw that a little bit in yesterday's match with Daria Kovalova. The players both started a little bit further left, I think, where they maybe should have broken them down. And going into the last game, Daria had to kind of slow roll it around, and she got the first two to strike, but then she started to get amped up a little bit and lost her carry and ended up losing the match. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to go from striking to flat tending, right?
Yep, exactly. And that last shot that Shannon O'Keefe just threw, it did look like she just got it on the lane a little sooner, maybe started it, got a little earlier roll, and then it kind of rolled into the pocket, whereas the ring 10s have been like, you know, more angle into the pocket. So maybe she could just slow down a little bit and get a little more roll, which is really Amanda. Her roll looks really good today. Nice and slow, which is still firm for her, but, you know,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, the age-old question in bowling is how do you stop leaving 10 pins, right? I mean, it could just be something subtle, right?
It's very subtle.
Yeah. I mean, what do you typically do when you're leaving 10 pins?
It's just a little bit of just the angle thing, I mean, if you're so close to doing that, usually it's just like something I can do with my hand, just kind of change my hand position a little bit to get it to roll a little sooner. It's usually just too much angle through the pocket, and we teach a lot of the kids that we work with, we teach them to watch how the ball rolls off the back of the deck, like to how it rolls through the pins. And a lot of people are like, I don't understand that. But if you watch how your ball is rolling off of the pin deck through the pins, you can learn a lot about, like, oh wow, that one's like too sharp, or that one's like, you know. So that's something fun that you can teach kids out there.
Well, Amanda Fry continuing to keep the pressure on Shannon O'Keefe. Double 8-spare turkey. Now Shannon O'Keefe up 10 pin on this lane last time.
Let's see what she does. She definitely is going a little slower. Maybe just slowing up her ball speed a little bit. Those last two shots looked considerably slower.
Yeah, that's the thing that's so tough about explaining to people why the great players are great, is just little adjustments like that can take you from, the game we saw Shannon bowl, the first game with the 2-0, never missing the pocket, to maybe shooting 260 this game.
Yep. I mean, especially, the shot is very conducive to her game. Like you want to kind of throw it a little straighter and have a straighter angle, and it's going to be those subtle differences that get her, to the 240s and 260s.
Stamp that one. I think it's hard for Shannon to gear down a little bit.
That's
right?
what I was just going to say.
Aggressive.
Yep, she's got that definite strength through her release. She's so smooth, and she uses her legs so much, and she can be so aggressive, almost sometimes like taking the lane out of play. When they get, like, she's really good when the lanes get a little gritty, and she can just use her strength to keep her ball reaction. So it might be a little bit like Amanda, like it's maybe not in their easiest for them to slow down and roll the ball and trust the reaction. Especially on a short pattern, you don't think, oh, I got to slow it down.
Right.
You think, I got to keep my speed up and throw it straight. But, you get a little oil carry down, and there is a higher volume this week. So, you don't really have to throw it as hard as you might think you do. Like Brianna's not throwing it too hard. She's just keeping it on line.
It's the devious mind of Nick Hoagland at work.
Always a challenge.
Tricking you into thinking, well, sure, I'm going to have to play right and throw it hard. No.
See, a short pattern is, well, personally, it's my biggest challenge. But the short pattern can be so many different things based on the volume. There's a lot in, again, like teaching people how to play patterns. The perception of a short pattern is really not what it should be. Like what it really is. People think, oh, I have to use a shiny ball. I have to throw it hard and straight. And, surface is the biggest thing on short patterns.
Well, Nick had us publish the scorecard for the first half of the season. And is that something you look at all, or do you just kind of wait until 30 minutes before practice and decide once you see the volume?
Yeah, I look at the length and the volume. I don't really look at the shape, because the shape can change based on, like how people are playing them and stuff like that. And I look at two things, which is what I've always looked at when I bowled, is just the length and the volume.
See if Stephanie can bounce back after the open frame.
Like she changed balls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going through some transition and trying to figure it out. It's going to be giving away some of that lead that she built up in game 1.
Which will make it exciting for game 3.
Yeah, that's good for us.
For us fans, right? Maybe not for them, but
Yeah.
definitely for all those people watching. Want a nice close match. See who can finish it off. Personally, if I was out there, I would not want a nice close match.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stressful.
Very stressful. And you know what? As much of a lead as you think you can have, oh, I'm good, but it's never enough
Yeah.
because things can definitely change.
Well, everybody out here is so good. You never know when
Yep.
someone can just pop off a 12-bagger.
Exactly. Good shot by Shannon O.
Starting to come to the end of game 2 in our matches here, and looks like Liz Johnson has a comfortable lead going into her final game against Anna Anderson.
But she's probably happy about that since all of her matches have been pretty brutal and she's had to
Yeah.
finish them off in every third game.
Yeah, she leads by 67 pins.
How's
Yeah, there's-
Clara doing down there with Brandy?
Looks like she's down 25 going into this game, but looks pretty close this game.
Yeah, within 20, right? Not too far. Shannon doubled, set up the 10th frame.
That's big 9th and 10th here for Amanda.
Definitely. She doesn't want to give Shannon any room for catching up. She wants to keep that 40-pin lead.
And Shannon definitely lined up. So Amanda knows that Shannon's capable of a big game in game 3.
Yes, she does. She doesn't want to give her any room. Another good shot. Calm, cool, and collected. My heart would be pounding.
It's got to be a lot of fun for her right now, and great for her confidence, especially knocking off the caliber of players that she has the last three matches, right?
Yeah, no matter how this ends up, she definitely has had her best week on tour, and she will learn a lot from it and take the positives and move forward and probably have some more success this summer, hopefully. It's always good. There's so much talent out here, as you guys know, watching. You always like to see everyone get there, a little bit. You know, like there's always some domination by our top players and everything, but I always root for people that are out here every week to have a little bit of success. It's a bad shot by Amanda in the 10th.
It doesn't look to me like she's going to need to make a ball change. It seems like that ball, when she gets it left, it's still coming off the spot.
Yep.
Do you think she might get a look if she can make this spare?
I think she'll try a fill ball. She'll probably switch. She had a Sonic that she switched to against Kelly that kind of had a good look for her. So hopefully she'll spare this and give that a shot just in case she will need to make a ball change. I don't know that she would change in the first frame. Good girl on the spare. Let's see if she gives it a whirl. Brianna.
Wow.
That's not good.
Just when you think she's
She had
putting
made
it
up a
to
few
Stephanie,
pins.
yeah.
Yeah. She had made up a few pins and she's still got plenty of room to. Still looking at 250. She punches out. Amanda did not make a ball change in the 10th. She must have just known she threw a bad shot. That ball still looks good if she throws it good. Go with what feels good, right?
Yeah,
It's working for her. She doesn't want to change.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she has the same look on this pair as she had on the pair with Kelly. It looks like her looks better at this point in the match.
Yeah, and I think her 2 shots that didn't hit the pocket were just bad shots. So
Yeah.
Shannon can make up, looks like she can make up 10 Sometimes the scoring units, I don't know about the.
There, yeah, I think I've got them now, but it does make you do a little extra math.
Yeah. I'm good at math, but sometimes that it messes up on the. I'm like, well, is that a max 240?
Yeah.
But it looks like she get 10 of her pins back if she gets the next 2.
Yeah, 246 is Shannon's max score.
Which will definitely help her in the third game if she can get 10 back. Make it within a 30-pin match would be a lot closer.
Yeah, just basically 2 hits.
Yeah, she's definitely a little softer and ball's going through the pins better.
How often do you leave a 10 pin after missing one?
Always.
Isn't it every time?
It's always. At least in my game, that's for definite.
It's your punishment.
Definitely. It's funny how those pins know how to punish us. Let's see if Steph can get lined up at the end of this game. She's got to make a close third game with Brianna.
Well, that's
She went back to
246
her
by
other ball.
Shannon. That's going to make it an interesting game 3.
Yep. 32 pins. 33 pin lead for Amanda. Now Steph Johnson went back to the ball she started this match with, so maybe she was predicting a little transition, but she went back to the one that was working well at the beginning.
Well, looks like Amanda going to get this game 3 underway.
It's a good shot. Emil's always doing his homework.
He is. He's preparing us. Gave us some bio info on Amanda Fry, 2014 Junior Team USA member, 2013 NTCA All-American at Vanderbilt, and 19th at the 2017 Queens. Also 15th in last year's Sacramento Open.
It's her home field advantage right there. That's right. She, if she had lost to Kelly Kulik, she would have been bowling her college coach, Josie Barnes.
Oh, wow.
So that would have been an exciting match, but she probably was much happier moving on, moving
I'm sure
forward.
she was, in both respects.
Yes.
Not having to bowl her college coach and
Yes.
getting to stay in the winner's bracket. Well, looks like that move worked for Stephanie. And able to bail out 224 with one more strike.
And Brianna can get 20 pins back if she punches out.
I don't think Shannon's going to make it easy on your nerves here.
I think we need to find something to talk about so I can be.
I'm sorry.
No, it's going to be a good match. I just want her to make good shots. You hate to see someone lose. You know, maybe getting beat is one thing, but
Yeah, you want to see, it's, you know, if you're a tennis watcher, you want to see winners, not unforced errors.
correct. Strikes to win are always exciting. Yeah, Shannon's not going to miss too much this game.
That was, yeah, you can, yeah, and like you said, looks like she's now nice and smooth.
She just dialed it down just a notch, I think.
Yeah.
Let the ball roll through the pins. See if Brianna can make this a close one. Definitely happy that 10 pin went out after 2 good shots and 2 10 pins.
Yeah, that would have been rough. Only picking up a few pins after the big lead she had with the front six. Just a little pumped up there, maybe.
Maybe it looked
fast,
good. Maybe
yeah.
just went a little long. I kind of wish she had tried her other ball in the 10th. Just.
Yeah, because that did seem to be what the issue was at the end of her last match, was just the ball not making it around the corner.
Yep.
And the last several strikes she's thrown have been light mixers.
It's fair. So Brianna got back 13 pins. She's going to be down by 27.
Yeah, I'm sure Stephanie, if you would have told her that she was only going to lose 13 in the 6th frame,
Yeah.
she would have taken it.
Good finish. Good start and good finish by Steph. Looks like Liz is okay to move on another match. Brianna and Tina are in a close one. I mean, Sydney and Tina are in a close one.
Yeah, just 7 pins difference going into the final game there. Light mixer for Amanda.
That'll make her feel good. What's going on with Kelly's match down there? Email. Oh, I can't see that far.
I can see Josie's score. She's plus 49.
It's a close one.
I think Kelly's plus 41.
Okay.
If you were in the booth with me right now, you'd see Leanne's knees going up and down.
I'm
tapping.
jiggling. I got the nervous feet right now.
Sorry, I'm trying not to make light of your.
Oh, you can't help but root for the underdog, right? Especially when she's your family favorite.
Yeah.
We call her French Fry. That's what my son calls her, French Fry.
Okay. It's a good nickname. Good American nickname.
That's right. She has a great family, great support. Her brother Billy is a Sacramento police officer. She's going to be lots of support, but she's going to need it this match.
Yeah.
Shannon has got pretty much evened up the match. Amanda needs to fight back and throw 2 good shots here and tell her she's not giving up easily.
Well, this is how you progress out here on tour. You got to beat the best, right?
That's exactly right. She's done it so far, right?
Yeah.
With Liz and Rocio and Kelly. Let's see if she can give her a good battle till the 10th frame.
If she had come back and talked to you between those last 2 shots, what would you be telling her?
Stay calm, just roll it. She looks like she's just making a couple bad shots, which could be, she might feel like her like it's her look is going away, and she might be like, oh, if I just give it a little more,
Yeah.
and really she might just need to change balls,
Yeah, it seems to me that she's at the point now where, her best shots are light mixers, so she's afraid to give it away.
Exactly. And that one she just pulled because she's like, her last shot on that lane was a light, and then her strike was a light one, so she's probably trying to make something happen. And as bowlers, we're stubborn. We always feel like, oh no, I can just throw it a little better.
Yeah.
When someone like Shannon is like, I'm going to change balls, or whatever.
Right.
And maybe Amanda just needs to change balls. And she might just not be brave enough, at this point. She's like, it worked just fine. But sometimes you just got to, go for it. I don't know what she's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's pretty clear that Shannon's going to shoot a big game. She's lined up.
She's
right?
dialed in.
Yeah. You think we might see a ball change if Shannon throws another double?
Let's see what Amanda does. Her shots have not been. I mean, that was a great shot. She's fighting.
Yeah.
She throws it good. She's still got a good look.
Yeah.
I mean, her ball reaction is not like done. It's not, you know, it's just maybe getting a little bit, or she's got to throw it a little bit better. Maybe she'll get some help from the pin gods, you know, like maybe
Stone 8 or
something.
Yeah.
Maybe keep her close in this match, you know, catch a double, get a turkey, get back in the match. She still has some pins, so.
Uh-oh, that's
Look
not
left.
very good. Wow.
Well, that would be pin gods in Shannon's favor,
Wow.
because that was a definite gift.
Huh. Neil giving us an update. Liz Johnson has moved on with a 7:33 to 6:39 victory over Anna Anderson. Tina Williams and Sydney Brummett within 7 pins going into the last game. Josie Barnes and Kelly Kulick within 8 pins, and Brandy Branca with a 49 pin lead over Clara Guerrero. Got some good matches going on in front of us,
These
don't
two
we?
matches are good. Brianna and Steph are started with turkeys. The good thing is, well, easy for us to say, but the good thing is the losers of these two matches are not out of it and
Right.
still have a very good chance to make the TV show.
Well, it's nice to watch well-bowled matches, which is what we're getting in front of us right now.
Definitely. Let's see if young Amanda can make some good shots and put some pressure on Shannon to keep.
That looked good.
Very good shot.
That was maybe her best shot of the match.
I'm clapping down here. And she's got the determination. You see, she got the fight in her. She's
Yeah.
giving a little fist pump like, I'm not done yet.
That was impressive.
Young Sydney is spare 4-bagger over there. She's got the fight as well. Watched double next to her all week, and she was working hard.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
That was a bad shot off her hand. Turkey here would be good for Amanda. Get her right back in it. There's more pressure on the person striking to continue striking. That needs to hook a little bit. That was definitely had a chance. All right, let's spare that up. Steph has a little bit of a tough spare, but I assume she would cover that up.
Yeah, that is.
It's tricky
Definitely
because
a
you don't
tough
want to
one.
go
Yeah.
away too much on it, but that's a tricky spare.
Yeah, and it looks like she moved left, and if she would have thrown it a little right, it probably would have hung. Yeah, that's not that's
Yeah,
not
with
an
the
easy
flat,
one there.
the flat pattern and being a little drier in the middle, it's hard to move left on those right side spares. She might have been able just to shoot it, you know, towards the right part of the lane.
Good spare there for Amanda, and basically have about an even match at this point. Amanda can still shoot 237 this game, which would give her 719, which means Shannon O'Keefe would need 270 or better.
Pressure's on Shannon.
It is.
Right? She's got to keep striking. That was a bad break. Very good shot by Steph.
Much
like
better.
Like her speed came up a little bit more.
Yeah, it was much better than the
Yeah.
last shot on that lane, obviously.
Wow.
But that one was, you know, she could have put up 20 pins there and knocked them all down.
That was definitely 10 back.
Steph in a little trouble there with her ball reaction, maybe.
Yeah, maybe she's just faking her out like she did last match. You know, she had a few off frames in the middle.
Yeah.
And then finished it off. But Brianna could definitely make it a pretty close match right here with the next 2 strikes. Shannon can make this one tough for Amanda coming up. Let's see if she gives her a little breather. Got things going her way.
Yeah. Well, it's still, like, it's going to be tough, but if Amanda can go off the sheet here, you know, she's still going to put a lot of pressure on Shannon. Shannon would still need a double.
Yep. Bree's not giving up.
No.
She didn't even turn around. She was still telling those pins.
Take that.
She was like, "That's right, Reno."
All right, big shot here.
Come on, Amanda. Stay in this match. Good shot. Good shot.
That's just the ball reaction, right? I mean, she's.
I really do.
At the
She's
point.
making good shots.
Yeah.
That ball was just not finishing, and I think either another ball or I don't know. That's tricky.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, it would be tough to make that move, especially not getting a read.
I mean, she's been in the pocket for 6 games with that ball, and it's like we said, it's just a small little shot by Brianna. Another good shot. Okay, so Amanda still has a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. She can go off the sheet for 226, which would give her 708, which means O'Keefe would need 260 or better.
So she would need at least 1 more strike.
Yeah, if Shannon were to go spare, she'd be in the 260s, so she would need a couple of marks.
Yeah, so let's see if Amanda can set it up here. Of course, then Shannon could put it back on Amanda for the 10th. So Amanda can, the first one here in the 9th for foundation frame. And then it's up to Shannon. See if she can get the equal Brooklyn. All right, so we're equal on good Brooklyn breaks. I always like to see that. The breaks be equal.
Yeah, now that Stephanie went light, I'm kind of wondering about that ball reaction.
I know, but she went back to that ball, but maybe now she'll change back to that ball she had in game 2.
Yeah, the problem now, though, is her opponent's got the front 6.
You have to be brave with ball changes, that's for
yeah.
sure. You never, it's tough to make a ball change at a certain point. I mean, but Steph really, those last couple of shots haven't, been too good, so she might need a ball change. See if Shannon, this could be it for Shannon, right? Yeah. So she just needs a
that
good
basically
count,
locks
huh?
it
That
up,
was kind of it for Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda can shoot 226. That would give her 708, and that means Shannon needs 260. So basically, keep it
Decent
on the lane.
count, yeah. Anything but which she's been nothing but, 9 or strike, so she's pretty good. And Amanda will rebound. She'll be fine. This might be good for her.
Well, gosh, I mean, she bowls one of the best bowlers in the world.
No shame in losing to Shannon O'Keefe, that's for sure.
O'Keefe, we're going to bounce over to O'Keefe because she's up on the approach.
Shannon might just top it off with the 300.
Yeah, wow. which, you know, that's a good story for Amanda to tell.
Amanda, because I couldn't win anyway. She bowled 300, right? I had no
Yeah,
chance.
I
She bowled 300.
Bowled the #1 player in
Yeah.
the world, and she had to shoot 300 in the last game to beat me.
No shame in that. And Amanda's not out of the tournament. She's still got another match. And it won't be a one-on-one match. She'll have 3 other competitors, so that should ease her nerves a little bit.
Good one there.
You had some 300s already, right? How
We've
many?
had a couple, yeah. No,
One or
just one,
just
actually.
one?
Clara Guerrero,
Clara?
yeah.
What do you think?
I think she's
she'll do
gonna
it?
get it.
Me
yeah.
too. I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Emil says
Emil,
yes
thumbs
too.
up.
3
Yeah.
thumbs up back here. No pressure, Shan. We're all predicting your 300.
Before we see it.
Brianna's got to
Yeah,
keep
she's
her
still-
300 chance alive. And more importantly, her match. I don't think the 300 is as important as this match right here. Good shot. And a bad break.
Wow. That is a bad
That was
break.
terrible. Well, what do we
Wow.
know? Thanks, Shannon, proving us wrong. Great game.
What a great match.
Great game, great comeback.
So Shannon O'Keefe finishes with 748.
And a spot on the TV show tomorrow. First or second will be her spot.
And the winner of this match here will determine the 1 and the 2 seeds matchup.
And they'll bowl for the 1 and 2 spot, right?
Yep.
Yep, bowl little match. Amanda's going to shake it off, take a little break, get a couple pep talks by Sam and her dad.
Yeah, good solid match.
And me.
Bowled by Amanda. Obviously,
Yeah.
she made Shannon work for it.
Yep. Geez, you can only take down so many giants, right?
That's right. At some point, but I would guess the conversation would center around maybe ball choice for game
Might have
3.
made, yep.
Yeah,
Now, do they bowl on another fresh pair?
they will.
Okay.
And there's a chance she could actually have a lefty
Right.
on her side as well. Although, no, maybe not. No, Anna lost.
Anna
So
lost.
she'll be the only lefty, which should be to her advantage.
Josie beat Kelly. So Josie Barnes will move on. Now, which one of these will bowl each other? I wonder. There's going to be 4 contenders left, and they will pair up in matches. And then after that, 2 of those winners will bowl these 2 losers from the winners bracket. Still a few matches left. Sydney Brummett is down by 7. And her match is close, so has that even been decided over there?
I don't think it has.
Steph's not giving up. She wants to bowl her BFF Shannon for the top spot.
Yeah, this match is close.
Definitely. Tina Williams.
Steph can
Did
still
not
shoot
double.
234, which would give her 706.
And Bree can shoot what?
Bree can
260?
shoot 266, which she would need all of them.
266 would give her 711,
711,
so
yeah.
she would need them all. So they need to finish it off. Person who finishes it off is going to win. It's a big shot right here. And a big messenger.
Wow.
And a big fist pump by Steph. So it looks like Sydney's good over there. Sydney Brummett in her match against Tina Williams.
Tina just needed a double and came up a little short. And,
great bowling by her. Her best finish in the Queen, she said. She said that before this match, so she definitely has had her career high in the Queens.
And Aaron Smith did a nice feature story on her over on bowl.com and pwba.com. So be sure to check that out.
Lots of good stories at the Queens, always.
Yeah. Amanda Vermilia was a nice story from earlier
That was
this
a great
week.
story.
Yep.
I couldn't wait to watch her come back and compete. Hopefully, I think she's going to bowl the Minnesota stop.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Every shot she comes back smiling.
She is awesome. She's been smiling since she was first time I saw her when she was a young junior bowler. All right, big shot for Brianna here. Needs to hook a little bit. There you go. Oh, she's got the walking backwards again.
Yeah,
She's
she
like,
did.
no 7-10 that time. So, from what you said with the math, Brianna gets all three, and then she shuts Steph out.
Yeah, Steph can shoot 234, so that would be 706. And that means Brianna would need 262, so double and 6.
Good math right there. Really good matches. Easy to say when you're not in them.
Yeah, I mean, although it is fun to be in these matches, right?
Well, no.
It's stressful, but
It is fun. It's
fun
more
when
fun
you
to be
win.
in them than back here watching. Let me just tell you that. But yeah, it's good stuff. That's what you want, right? That's why you bowl. A chance to win.
And we talked earlier this week about Verity Crawley losing with 266, and someone did some research and found out that that wasn't the highest losing score. I believe you were involved in that 276, 279 match for a title.
Oh yeah, Alita Sill.
Yeah.
That was one of my very first TV shows. And again, there was more pressure on me because she was coming at me, and if I missed, I lost. So she was catching up. I think that was 1988. That was a long time ago. Virginia Beach, Virginia, I think.
Was it fun or stressful?
It was fun. Yeah, I didn't know any better. I was like 20. It was like one of my first TV shows. Who knows?
All right, so big shot coming up here for Brianna. Strike and 6.
I think we'll see some good emotion after she strikes on this shot. How's Randy feeling? He's at home watching. How you feeling, Randy, right now?
He's stressed.
You know he's got this on right now. He's listening to us. It's a good thing we can't hear you yelling, Randy. Big shot.
In.
Good one. Oh.
Just in a little bit.
All right, so Steph will now have the chance to step up and strike to win. You got to do your math again and tell us. We might have anything
so
close for a tie or
254
anything.
with the spare. That would give her plus 99. And that means Steph would need 228 or better, and she can go off the sheet for 234. So she'll need a double and 5.
Wow. Not easy. Bree needs to cover these up.
That didn't make
probably
too much.
won't make
yeah,
too much,
of a
right?
difference. The double's the big thing.
Yeah. Good game by Bree. With a definite bad break in the 7th.
Yeah.
The 7-10. She's going to probably have something to say about that 7-10 if she doesn't win this match.
I'm sure she will. She made a great run, though, after being behind.
Definitely a good comeback. We'll have to give her her allotted 20 minutes after the match if she loses. You don't want to mess with people.
So double and 5 pins. It's pretty good, but
That was a good shot. It
yeah.
might have been a little left by Steph, but that wasn't a very good break. She definitely has a wide pocket on this shot, and that was maybe a little slow by Steph. She's normally pretty firm with her speed.
Well, Brianna Cote will advance in the winner's bracket, and she'll take on Shannon O'Keefe for the #1 seed at the USBC Queens. What a couple of
Exciting
great matches there.
Yeah.
And nice spare there
Good
for
spare.
Steph.
She doesn't care about that spare right now.
No, it's always easy to make those when the match is decided.
Yeah,
but
can't be happy with a spare of a split when you didn't want to leave it to begin with.
But the good news is for Steph and for Amanda Fry that it's double elimination, and they will move on in the elimination bracket.
Still alive. Very good chances to make the TV show. Bowling very well. Good shots by both of them. Very solid match play for the last 2 days, so I predict we might see them tomorrow night as well.
Yeah.
So.
Elimination bracket. How about a nice big round of applause for those fantastic bowling down there. 4 ladies have ended their run at the Tiara. Next up
2
at
comebacks.
1 o'clock, we will have 2
Yeah, they
winners.
were.
Yeah, both
Shane
comeback
and
matches.
Rhiannon will bowl to see who our #1 seed will be for our live CBS television finals. And we will also have 4 contenders who will be on their way.
What time are our next matches? The contenders, they have a break or are they bowling right away? 1 o'clock?
We'll be back on the lanes at 1 o'clock,
Time is it?
along with Shannon and Brianna.
Yeah, so we'll have about an hour break.
Have a little break.
And
Come
we'll-
back and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Got some great matches coming up. We've got Liz Johnson and
See you back here
Josie
when
Barnes,
we'll begin
Brandy
at
Branca, and Sydney Brummett.
for the 2018
And
USBC
as we mentioned, Steph and Amanda have moved one forward, so they're going to await some opponents. And we'll also have the match for the #1 seed coming up after the break. So hope you enjoy your lunch, and we'll see us back here at 1 o'clock Pacific time. Thanks a lot, Leanne, for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Great matches. Happy to talk about them and watch all the excitement.
Yeah. So
Tune
for-
in. We're going to have more excitement, I predict.
I think
It's not over yet.
That's a very easy prediction to make, I think.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but be sure to tune back in about an hour. And thanks for watching here on Bull TV on Extra Frame. For Emil Williams Jr., I'm Jason Thomas. And thanks to Leanne Holzenberg for coming in and helping us out with the coverage here this morning.